everybody, welcome to Parrot Stars Star of the Week. This week we are featuring the Indian Ringneck Parakeet. So Indian Ringnecks are a great species. One, they are absolutely beautiful. They are an Asiatic bird, so most of them can be found across Southeast Asia. They typically nest in trees, and their diet typically consists of nuts, seeds, fruits, and other things that they can find. So here we have a violet. Here is a blue, and the really stunning Lutino. Indian ringnecks are typically solid green in the wild. So all these fancy colors are all because of captive breeding and strategic breeding to get all these beautiful colors out. So they are a sexually dimorphic species, which means the males and the females will look different at adulthood. The males will get the signature dark black ring around their neck. The females will have a little hint of a ring, but it will be less distinct than the very dark black ring that the males get. All three of the birds that I have here for this video are babies, so the little head bobbing is a very babyish gesture. They are very close in size to what a mature Indian ringneck would be, but a fully mature Indian ringneck would have a very, very distinct long tail and a little bit larger body. So they're almost full size, but not quite. So they are what we consider a small species of parrot. So absolute minimum size cage would be roughly 24 inches by 24 inches. With at least a ½ bar spacing. Ideally, you would go bigger than that for such a large bird because they have a big wingspan and a long tail. So even though we consider them a small bird species, the more space they have, the better. You'd want to make sure you have a variety of perching available for an Indian ringneck. They have relatively large feet, so you can go with skinnier perches or wider perches. But ideally, you want to have something that is both a combination of maybe rope and natural wood to maintain really quality foot health throughout the lifespan of the bird. So Indian ringnecks as pets can be really great if they are in the right setting. So it is really important to understand that when you see videos of Indian ringnecks acting super cute, talking very well, that is often the result of that owner spending hours and hours of time building the confidence of that bird and getting it super tame. So most Asiatic species, but particularly Indian ringnecks, even when they're hand-fed babies and they're super sweet as they are now, they're a lot more timid than other species tend to be. So building trust with them, having your own real strong sense of confidence is extremely important in order to be successful long-term with an Indian ringneck. So they are not a species that is for the faint of heart. It is a species that ideally would get a lot of distinct time for constructive training, really good socialization in order for it to become a really confident, phenomenal pet for you guys to have in your family. So one of the coolest attributes of the Indian ringnecks as companion parrots is their undeniable talking ability. So we would consider their talking ability very advanced. They have a very clear talking voice. They can mimic both sounds and words, and their voice is very clear, so they can enunciate specific words and develop a very strong, big vocabulary. So this is a species that you could theoretically have in an apartment setting, but that noise is still relatively strong, so something to be really thoughtful about if you do live in an apartment or a townhome. So my experience with Indian ringnecks, to be honest, has been a bit mixed. They are a species that when you understand them fully can be really phenomenal. So I will be honest, when we first started hand raising them, I struggled with them because so much of my background was in macaws and conures, parrotlets, birds that are undeniably super confident the minute you pull them out of the nest box and they're just ready to take on the world. Indian ringnecks need a much more thoughtful approach during their hand feeding process for them to become like they are now, where they're sitting in a room, sitting on your finger, sitting very calmly. So when we approach them for hand feeding, we talk to them very softly. We literally bring them in and tell them we love them and give them a million kisses all day long. But now that we understand them a little bit better and understand how much comfort they need as young babies, I have really grown to love them, and I almost dare to say they might be in my top 5 favorite species that we raise. Hi! Because as you can see, when they do trust you and they get to know you and they're calm, they are absolutely adorable. And I think the greatest feeling in the world is after a long day and I come back into hand feed at 8 o'clock at night, I have a room full of excited ringnecks, happy to see me. It is the most heartwarming, exciting thing in the world. So highly recommend this species as companion parrots. It is something that I encourage you to really think about before you add one to your family to make sure that it is truly the right fit. But in the right home, I think they're one of the best parrots to have as a companion. Thank you so much for tuning into this week's Star of the Week. Please give us a like and a subscribe if you like what you saw today and if you want to see more great videos of education about parrots.